We are in Quebec City, the capital of Quebec, and we only have 24 hours to discover this historic city. Let's see what all we can do. So we are beginning our morning with a restaurant called La Buche, and this restaurant is a cabane à sucre restaurant, and a cabane à sucre is a sugar shack. And a sugar shack is a building where they take the sap from the maple trees and turn it into the maple syrup, which generally happens in the spring, like late or early spring here in April. Traditionally, the sugar shacks will host large community events where they serve ham, bacon, sausage, baked beans, pork rinds, crepes, waffles, all that kind of delicious food, all accompanied by the maple syrup that they've made in the cabane à sucre. So this restaurant serves all of those delicious things, and we've gotten a sampling of what they have to offer, as well as some mimosas, because the lovely hotel where we are staying, which is literally like 3 houses down, and it is called Hotel Le Clos Saint-Louis. They gave us a little drink ticket for 2 mimosas here. So we have some mimosas. I have some filter coffee, and yeah, we're gonna stuff our face. We ordered the assiette de la cabane, which is the cabin plate, and it includes a huge sampling of all of those different cabane à sucre traditional foods. And then I got some poulet frit et gaufres, which is chicken and waffles. I'm excited for that.
So we just finished our breakfast at La Buche.
La Buche, yes.
Doesn't mean the mouth.
No, it's not La Bouche, it's La Buche. The vowels are different.
That restaurant was phenomenal. Average prices around town, because a lot of the restaurants, especially at night, can be expensive. Where are we currently right now? What's the name of this park?
The Parc Montmorency.
And there's a bunch of cannons along the river. If you didn't know, Quebec City is a fortified city. Looking at the views from this park, you can really feel like you're transported into Europe. You get great views of the St. Lawrence River, of the Chateau Frontenac, and I'm sure during the summer it's beautiful with all the trees. Old Town is relatively small. You can easily walk everything. So today in this video, we're really just exploring. We're discovering what's going to be here.
And we're going to go beyond Old Town as well.
Because a lot of people don't do that. Come along with us on the journey. And we want to show you everything you can do in 24 hours.
This street behind me really reminds us of the Royal Mile in Edinburgh. It's like a big street on a hill that curves, just like this.
So behind me is Place Royale, which is said to be the birthplace or the heart of Old Quebec City, where Samuel de Champlain founded the city. So behind me you have a 17th century church, as well as all this old European style buildings. It really feels like you're in northern France right now. Looking at all the rooftops and all the stonework. And this old town really, to us, looks a cross between France and Scotland.
And you've got Louis XIV over there.
And he's looking at the church.
With his glorious hair.
I was just saying to Aubrey that I really think it's like the shades of blue that remind me of northern France. It's like dark slate blue. So as you're looking at this mural, and I'll do some close-ups on this, there's very intricate details about famous people from the city, like Samuel de Champlain. You can also see up in the upper part, it represents the different seasons. So when you're looking at the bridge, you can see spring being represented with the lilac trees. And then as you pan up, you can see the fall colors, you can see winter at the top. And I also think that it's interesting that the guys that are carrying that barrel down the stairs is full of maple syrup. Got some children playing hockey right there. This is a really cool mural.
Behind me is the street called Rue du Petit Champlain, and this is an extremely picturesque, fairy book quintessential, cute little Quebec City street with lots of shopping. So we're gonna wander down and see what we can find.
Now, Old Quebec City is divided into two sections. There's the lower part where we just are right now, and then there's the upper part where the Chateau Frontenac is. And the best way to get up there is through the Funiculaire. It costs about $5 a person. It looks like it's going to be a quick ride as opposed to walking up, burning some calories.
It's snowing a bit. So this is the Terrace Dufferin, which is the little boardwalk in front of the Chateau Frontenac. You have a beautiful view of the river. Be careful, it gets a little slippery out here in the winter. There's also a toboggan here that is not open yet because it has not been cold enough.
I think it opens in the middle of December.
Yeah.
We wanted to ride it because apparently it goes up to like 70 kilometers an hour. Bonjour! Which is like, what, 45 miles an hour? Aubrey thinks that a toboggan is a hat.
All my Southerners, shout out in the comments.
But a toboggan to the Canadians up here, and the Northerners like me, is a sled.
It's like a beanie. I called it a toboggan growing up.
That is
I don't know.
Anyway, so the Frontenac, which is the chateau, is famous for being in Epcot. Just kidding. So chateau meaning castle.
Yeah.
And it is quite majestic. And it is one of the most famous hotels in the world. Catch us later. Catch us outside because we're going to be staying here tomorrow night, showing you guys the full review of staying in such a famous hotel.
We're going to be showing us too.
Oh yeah, that's true. But apparently Franklin Roosevelt and Winston Churchill met in this hotel to plan out the end of World War II. So a lot of famous things have happened at this hotel. We've decided to walk up the hill next to the Frontenac to get up to the Citadelle, and it's starting to snow. Are they growing cabbage right here?
I think it is cabbage.
What a thing to grow.
Chou-fleur.
So we just got done with the Citadelle,
Which the Citadel is a fortress in town.
The tours are on the hour. So our tour was about an hour long, and we had a very fun, quirky Scottish woman that would make jokes and sing while she walked around.
Yeah, she was great.
We weren't allowed to film in there at all because it is an active military fortress, which apparently was built because of the Americans. So.
Yeah, they were like, we have to be able to protect ourselves if the Americans invade, which they never did.
It's a lot of walking. There's a lot of...
outside, mostly outside.
So we're very cold. And there is a museum in there as well, which is about the Canadian military. During the summer months, which is not now, you can see the changing of the guards, the Royal Guards, just like you would see in England, but we didn't get to see that.
This regiment has a goat mascot. The original goat was a gift from Queen Elizabeth II, and then now they're on their 12th generation of the goat. So they had one of them preserved. It was the fourth, so we saw the goat.
And now they're on the 12th.
And there's a specific position in the military to be the goat caretaker.
We're gonna continue on. I'm gonna insert some photos of the tour so you can see what we have seen. So the falls behind us are the
Montmorency.
And it's about 15 minutes outside of town. The falls are larger than Niagara Falls, more in height, more volume of water rushing down them. And fun fact, if you go to Epcot, since I mentioned Epcot earlier, behind the Funiculaire restaurant, there's waterfalls. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be these waterfalls. It's very cold, it's very miserable outside, but it's 24 hours and we gotta see everything that we can in 24 hours. Also, if you, we rented a car, so we drove over here, and because it's after sunset at this point, parking was free because nobody was there. But normally it's like $14, so it was a win. Now, during the summer months, you can actually zip line across these falls, which heck to the no. And there's a funicular, which I've heard is very expensive. Seeing it from below, like we're doing, is perfectly okay in my book.
So we've now driven about 10 to 15 minutes outside of Old Town to the Grand Marche, or Grand Market. This is primarily a food hall. There's several restaurants, food market booths in here. And then they hold seasonal markets as well. So right now they have a holiday market. So yeah, it's a good place to come to grab a bite to eat if you're looking for a more local place for lunch with a lot of options.
It looks relatively new in here, and I personally, and I think Aubrey would say the same, like to, when we're in a new city, find places like this, because this is really the heartbeat of the city, to feel more like a local.
Yeah, and it supports the local chefs, the local business owners. Technically, this is our lunch. It may or may not be 5:30 in the evening, but we stopped at a little cafe stand in the Grand Marche, and we both got some grilled cheeses to hold us over till dinner. Mine is brie and apples, and Brian's is raclette and peppers, I believe. We're gonna eat those, get a little energy back, and then we're gonna
head back into town.
Head back into town. Behind me is the Saint-Jean gate, and it's right in front of the Place, I'm not totally sure how you pronounce it, Duville, spelled like Youville. I'm not sure how you pronounce that.
Like Whoville?
In French, yes, Duville.
And it's right outside the Quartier Saint-Jean-Baptiste. For planning purposes, If you're coming here and you're wanting to go to like little boutiques and thrift shops, that's the place to go. But a lot of the places at this time of year close at 6 p.m. or before that.
Yeah, so we missed it today, but it is still an area of town that I would recommend going to. There's some beautiful architecture around here it's on a more grand scale than downtown or than the old town. And yeah, in the winter there's an ice skating rink, so that's cool. We are dining this evening at Le Lapin Saute, which is the jumping rabbit, the leaping rabbit. And they have several rabbit dishes here, hence the name. We have made it a tradition now that on Thanksgiving, when we're out of the country, we eat out of the box. We eat unique foods. So Brian, what is it that you've had for Thanksgiving?
Last year, I had, when we were in Peru, an alpaca steak. It wasn't as weird as the guinea pig or the cuy, but I had an alpaca steak. It was really good. And then the year before that, we were in Iceland for the first time. Anyway, I had a whale steak, and it was a salty, briny.
It was gross.
Steak. It was interesting. So
it was like a cow swam in the ocean.
So tonight, I'm gonna have rabbit. This is not the first time I've had rabbit. I think the first time we had rabbit was our trip to Estonia in college.
Yeah, I think we ate it. It was like a group dinner where they had like a fixed menu, and we just showed up and they brought us plates, and we were eating this meat. And we were like, this is really tender chicken. And then we were like, wait, we found out that it was actually rabbit. It was good. They have some other dishes too. Like I got a cassoulet. We'll show you what it is, but it has scallops, shrimp, and salmon in it. We are having this delicious Robasca cider, and it specifies on the back that it is 72% Macintosh and 28% Portland apples. Very good and crisp.
As a recommendation for this restaurant, make sure that you make a reservation ahead of time. We were able to walk in purely on luck.
Yeah.
One of the tables was opening up, and it's the off season, but the restaurant's really small.
Very small. There's maybe 15 tables in here, maybe less, 10 to 15 tables of varying sizes. I would say in general for restaurants here to make a reservation. I think we have lucked out because we're in the off season, but I have heard elsewhere that you should be making reservations if you definitely want to go somewhere. Molten lava cake. The food was A++. I recommend this place. My cassoulet, I didn't realize what it was, but it was delicious. It was like a bean stew topped with my seafood, scallop, salmon, shrimp. And your rabbit was good?
The rabbit was super tender, lots of flavor, warm, especially for this cold, rainy day that we've had. Definitely recommend coming here.
And then get that molten chocolate cake. Get the chocolate cake to end your meal. It was delicious. Not too sweet, rich. I could eat it again right now.
It's still raining out.
It is. I wish it would just snow already.
One of the magical things about being here in the off season is that it is completely empty. Weather is crap, don't get me wrong, but it is completely empty and super magical. We have one more final stop for the evening, and it is up there to the Frontenac. Let's go!
And unfortunately, the Funiculaire stops running at 9. So we must marcher, we must walk, we must climb.
Escalier.
Escalier
the mountain.
Les escaliers.
And it's raining.
Dans la pluie.
Oh, c'est la vie.
J'ai dit mettre de quoi que je pense qu'il est pas léger.
Good evening.
We are closing out the evening with a nightcap in one of the most famous hotels in the world, the Chateau Frontenac, which we will be staying at tomorrow night. We had a lot of fun today, even though the weather was miserable.
It was very rainy, cold, but you know, it's November. So.
It is November. I guess that's why people don't visit in November. You can definitely do this town in 24 hours. I would suggest more. You can definitely see a lot of things in 24 hours. Everything's very compact, which is really, really nice. And I think Quebec City has a lot to offer.
Yes, and we've got some fancy drinks. This bar has lots of different cocktail options, bougie cocktail options. So.
As well as liquors that are made just for this hotel.
Yes, we are going to enjoy our drinks and then go to bed.
If you like what you saw and you want to see more, click that subscribe button, that bell notification, and we'll catch you in the next one.
So we are beginning our day this morning at the La Buche. Hold on, let me start.
Favorite La Buche.
Hello.
Which one's the better one? This one or that one?
They're the same.